Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of MOPO, Matter of Personal Opinion. It's all MOPO. Today we're going to talk about another episode of Gotham. I believe it's episode 14 in season 3, A Man's City. And yeah, I think we'll jump right into it. The last episode ended with Jerome blowing up the power plant and the city going black. So we pick up right after that, where the GCPD is trying to get all these criminals under control, under wraps, with basically no power, and it's not really going too good for them. They're basically figuring out that they're not going to get the power back until the morning, but their main concern is finding Jerome. And it's funny because you would think in like a blackout, a city blackout, you'd be doing a lot more than trying to find one criminal in the night. Like, your police department would have a lot more to worry about than just one dude. What about the safety of your city as a whole?
It's only Gordon. And maybe like 3 other guys. It's not like the whole department find Jerome.
I'm just they need to get the fire department on this. Like this is Gotham isn't like a small town. Like, this is like a major city, I believe. In their little universe or whatever. And you worry about going and nabbing up one dude. Or whatever. Maybe like the scientist says here, we're just seeing one cop, one unit or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see every cop in the precinct all of a sudden let go of the gang member, the cult member, as they were calling it, and just being like, "Oh, Gordon said, let's go find this Jerome guy," and then everybody's just like running amok at some more.
So like, as the episode's progressing, Gordon goes to Lee, because she was the last one who saw Jerome. And she basically is all like, "Oh, he didn't really tell me nothing, why don't you go, like, brag over killing my husband to him and, get real smart with him." But in the process, it's like, hold on. He said the last thing Jerome remembered was wanting to kill Bruce Wayne.
So now it's a foot dash over to the Wayne Manor.
Now, Gordon, you know what, in his defense, he did show up to Gordon's alone. So, Bruce Wayne Manor, he did show up alone. So maybe he's not wasting police, money and power on one person. But he basically gets there. And, we felt like this episode was really fast paced. So instead of going scene for scene, we're just trying to go through about a storyline, and you're going to see these storylines are going to kind of blend in with each other towards the end of the episode, because when Gordon gets to Bruce Wayne's, Jerome and them had already actually kidnapped Bruce. And we'll get into that a little bit later, but he gets there in time to basically save Alfred from getting killed.
Or at least assist him in surviving.
It kind of looked like, Alfred had his own, he held his own pretty good versus the one boy. I mean, that wouldn't have stopped the other boy from shooting him once he got the first
Well, I was going to say, it was literally Gordon versus the big dude with the machete. Oh no, yeah. Alfred versus the big dude with the machete, and then Gordon versus the other 6 people with a gun.
I felt like there was only like 3. Oh yeah, first there was, but he came in and popped those first couple people.
Yeah.
And then just, wound up being the guy with the machine gun.
But yeah, it was basically Gordon versus everybody minus the big dude with the machete. And Alfred's like, I got that.
Yeah. And he's like, he ducks underneath the couch, and the guy runs out of bullets. And he starts reloading. Gordon jumps up and pops him.
And at Dave Roach 83 even says, he's like, why couldn't he done that shit when Zaz?
Last episode, Victor Zaz is unloading on him, running out of all kinds of bullets.
Taking his time with the, I guess I'll switch to these guns now.
I guess I'll have to reload this. And you don't jump up and pop Zaz in the face. But, alright, whatever, dude. That means, they obviously have plans for Zaz to keep just
not to mention, it's
die.
like, does that mean, Zaz has respect for Gordon, but he's going to do his job anyway? Does Gordon then have respect for Zaz, where it's like, alright, I'm not going to, like, pop you in the head on a reload, but if I squeeze one in while you're firing at me, fair game?
I guess. I mean, yeah, like, so, at that point, Gordon takes Alfred back to the GCPD, where they're trying to figure out where is Jerome, and now where is he taking Bruce. And they, I think maybe we can leave this for right now with them trying to...
Well, at least mention that somehow they've got information that
they're at the carnival.
That they're at a carnival.
Yeah, because...
So now they're basically on their way to that carnival.
Where they believe Jerome has
Bruce Wayne, yeah.
And it's funny because, it would make sense because they have a couple different leads on where they are, but they mentioned a circus, and, Gordon remembers that, hey, Jerome grew up in a circus. So this is probably our best lead. But, basically, we'll go back.
We'll just go to, basically, Jerome walking in. Like the phone rings in Wayne Manor, and I swear...
that's where we first see them anyway.
Swear to God, it's daylight out, and Alfred looks to Bruce and goes, who's calling at this hour?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like broad daylight out. What do you mean this hour?
It's not light, if it's not daytime, that moon is pretty bright.
Yeah, that moon is right outside their house, and the sun is right outside their house shining on that moon. Like, it was pretty crazy. I was like, what does he mean this time of day? Like, is it like the sun is out?
Because it's Lee calling Wayne Manor, because when they find out Jerome is going to Wayne Manor,
they try to warn him.
Gordon's all like, call him up. I'll be on my way. And it's basically,
but it was too late. Like, they're all distracted by the phone ringing, like, moving towards it real slow. Like, if they pick it up, it's going to tell them what time of day they're going to die and, all that shit. And they're just like, oh, the boogeyman lives inside the phone. Meanwhile, here strolls in Jerome and a whole gang of dudes just right behind him.
Yeah.
Like, you were worried about a phone?
Mollywops, Alfred and such, and really start terrorizing the place. They break the damn owl.
But not on the first try, though. Because he tries to go slip, and then drops it, and the thing just is like, thud, and he's like, oh shit, that's stronger than I thought. And then he tosses it behind him on some concrete.
Behind his head against
breaks in the fireplace.
Yeah, against the fireplace and smashes it. And Bruce, actually, to his credit, is all like trying to distract him. It's all like, you're gonna kill Bruce. I'm Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, you went through all this trouble. I thought you were a showman.
Yeah, you're just gonna kill me in my own house with nobody to see?
Yeah, it's like everybody needs to see me die.
Right, and Jerome's like, I know what you're doing here, but you got a point.
Yeah, you got a point.
And he's like, kill this old man. He's like, Bruce Wayne deserves to die in some kind of...
Well, you ain't nobody, Alfred.
He said, but not his butler. Kill this old dude, let's be out.
And it's funny, because Bruce Wayne's like, we will see each other again. And Jerome's all like, that was oddly intimate. Like, what the hell's going on with you two?
I wonder how many, rich kids love their butlers and whatnot. But, so, and then that's when Gordon busts in and, they save him. But Jerome takes Bruce to this carnival, this circus or whatever. And basically, this is like the dark carnival in my eyes. This is a lot like...
Yeah, it's like the victim-based games where it's like you're not shooting at target ducks. You're shooting at people's
people,
heads
and instead of
with
the
ducks
mole,
on their head, and
the mole crusher, where you get the hammer hitting the moles back into the ground, it's like real human heads.
Yeah, real human heads. People are popping their heads up like, oh no, don't hit me with the hammer.
They got the dunk tank where there's piranhas in the tank.
They got the carousel where people are riding, where victims are riding horses. Yeah, they're riding at gunpoint. It was this straight. It's like, be happy and smile. This is a fun time. I'm like, what the hell? It's ridiculous.
And he's taking Bruce around. He gets his face painted. He makes his lips red with some blood of some dude he kills right in front of him. And
he just stabs him in the belly. He's like, you turn that frown upside down. It's like, that's still a frown, dude.
Yeah, you painted a frown on it.
Yeah, it's like, turn that smile upside down, baby.
You can't turn a paint. You just messed up, Jerome. But, he's telling Bruce there's no heroes, and he's really amping all this up for, he wants to torture Bruce before he kills him. This main event.
Oh, well, and also, at one point, Jerome's face is, falling off, and he's got to, re-staple it back, and Bruce is trying to get in an edge on him, oh, is that hurt? And he's just like, oh, you tell me. And he, starts stapling his arm.
And it wasn't until, the third staple, Bruce is like,
all right, stop. No more. But he took, the first two.
He took the first two, Jim, what?
And Jerome's like, one more.
Fuck it.
Haha, gotcha.
So he gets all hyped. He's like, all right, after that, he's like, it's main event time. And he gets to this circus, and he's all the ringmaster coming out. I was kind of hoping I'd see some Flying Grayson's action going on, just a little homage or whatever.
You figure if they were, they're
probably dead.
Yeah,
anyway.
They're dead or they're already held captive. They're not doing somersaults in the air. As long as we stay up here, we're safe.
Generations of Flying Graysons getting fucked over by people.
Oh.
But just not really upset, and
he's asking for quiet, and this cowboy guy won't shut up.
This cowboy's a little bit too hyped up or whatever. He
just shoots him. It's like
he gets on the loudspeaker, tells him to shut up. That was pretty funny. The Kid Jerome is pretty funny, and he's pretty much warming up to be the Joker or whatever.
And definitely the Joker with the
torn up face.
Yeah, the torn up face as a mask. Because we'll get to it. But
we're coming to it. But
so he brings out this comical sized cannon.
You would shoot a person out of it.
Yeah, you would shoot a person out of it, but loads a real cannonball into it.
Right, but what he does is he rolls Bruce Wayne out tied up on a stick or a post, and then rolls that cannon out right in front of him.
And that cannon cracks me up. I started cracking up laughing.
He loaded,
right to his face.
Yeah, he loaded up knives and all kinds of shrapnel.
A bucket of shrapnel.
I don't think he actually put a cannonball in there.
Oh, he did, yeah. That was the first thing he put in was a cannonball.
Because when he shoots the post, it's not gone. If he shot a cannonball at that post, or Bruce Wayne, there wouldn't be knives and nails stuck to that post.
I don't know what to tell you. Bad continuity officers or whatever. But there was a cannonball that went into that cannon.
So basically, that's when Alfred and Gordon and Harvey Bullock, they all show up with the GCPD.
To save Bruce, which, by the way, they don't do.
And this is my point from the beginning. All them police officers, you're worried about one dude in the blacked out city, where all them other police officers
This is a half an episode later, and they know where he is.
I don't care.
And they're all those other victims. They're saving all those other victims.
Who the victims?
The people getting their heads smashed in the games.
Dead people.
No, they are not dead. They are the audience members.
I'm worried about the little old lady down on 5th Street who don't got no power. How's she gonna feed her cats?
You need to stop that shit. Nobody cares.
You wasted all this. Oh, because he's Bruce Wayne, he's rich. He gets all the support.
She got plenty of candles in that closet. She puts them high up on the cabinet where the cats can't get, so they don't turn into running around fireballs.
What about Mr. Salisbury down on 8th Street his only outside connection to the world was his TV.
Well, that's good. He can eat his steak while he watches it.
He ain't got no power to eat no damn steak. He on electric.
He's Mr. Salisbury. He don't need to cook it.
He eating cold steaks. But no, Bruce Wayne's in trouble. Let's use the whole power of the Force.
Hey, Bruce Wayne's in trouble. He's most of our donation money for the next decade. We should probably make sure he stays alive.
I don't agree with it. But anyway, and like you said, don't even do their damn job because the kid is like pulling out like pieces of metal out of his skin or something because he's all like, ah!
Did I miss something in another episode?
He's like where they're like, that's part of his training.
Oh shit, unless that was the staples that he was pulling out of his arm.
It was the staples.
I didn't even think of that. I'm sitting here like what the, where's he pulling these metal pins from?
Right. And he does, they take a good while because what happens is, Gordon and ransack it. Jerome lights that cannon on.
Oh yeah, but once again, a comically sized fuse.
Yeah.
Who gave you pointers on this?
A 12-inch fuse.
The Coyote.
Yeah, he got it from Acme Corporation,
right?
But actually, he didn't because this one did work. But
yeah, true.
Bruce actually gets himself out of the situation, runs away before, and as the cannon goes off, Alfred and Gordon
the cannon goes off, and they all kind of stand up out of the crowd, and they're like, Bruce. "Oh shit, yeah, we forgot about him."
But he was gone. They said it's all kinds of.
He's been vaporized.
Yeah. And it was that cannonball. That's what happened to him. But he's gone, and Jerome starts running after him, and they're looking,
Yeah, they go into a house of mirrors.
Well, I was going to say, Alfred and them are still looking for him.
Oh, yeah.
Too, but yeah, Jerome sees Bruce run into the house of mirrors. And, Jerome is clowning Bruce, basically. And it's all like, oh, you can't hide from me in here. And Bruce is all like, I ain't hiding.
I led you in here.
Right. Thinking he's tough already. I was thinking while I watched the show, he thinks he's Batman already.
Right.
Or whatever. He's going to call people out or whatever. And Jerome tries to sucker him, throws the gun down, but still got a knife in his hand.
Classic Joker move.
Yeah. But, Bruce, jumps him from behind. And
knocks the knife out, of course.
Actually digs up. Well, Jerome did kick him in the mouth or a little bit, but Bruce came right back on him and just starts digging
all those
up.
Boxing practices.
Right. He's really giving it to Jerome, just digging up in him pretty good or whatever.
His face is all peeling off.
Yeah, not necessarily peeling, but you can tell maybe
it's
he
loosening.
Broke his jaw or something.
It's
underneath
loosening.
that skin. The skin's getting mighty loose, like scientists said there. Skin's getting mighty loose.
Them staples are coming out.
Yeah, and he's all like, Bruce picks up a giant piece of glass and is like,
right, I was like,
I'm gonna kill you or whatever, and Jerome's all like, go ahead, do it, and he's like, no, I ain't gonna be like that, or whatever, and walks out and finds Alfred, and they have their little embrace.
Man, we saved you.
Yeah,
no, you ain't do shit.
And that's when Gordon sees Jerome come out of nowhere. He's going to get Bruce and Alfred, and he rolls up and just cracks the dog poop out of him, and Bull's face flies off completely.
He cracks him once, he looks up and it's all half off, like it was some Mrs. Doubtfire shit.
It looked real ugly, man. Some Jason in Friday the 13th Part 8.
He was Ace Ventura with the chicken skin on his face.
Oh, you looked ugly, boy. And that when he cracked him again or whatever, and the face flew off?
Right off. It looks like one of those faces from, you remember Return to Oz? Where that witch would have all them different faces?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like that.
And actually kind of a little bit looked like Ed Gein or whatever, some Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's kind of, yeah.
So, that all kind of is the climax of that, where, the next morning, they flash the next morning, Jerome's in custody, Bullock teases Gordon about, you punched the guy's face off.
And then Lee and Gordon kind of share a glimpse where Lee's kind of like, you're my hero, but I hate you still. Stop making me like you.
Yeah, she's a real
you saved the day. I don't want to ever see you.
Sai says, it's like, Gordon, did you even say, did you even try to be like, yo, you know he had a knife up to the back of your neck, right?
No, because there is no information, there is no inkling to suggest that he made any effort to explain himself, and he just kind of was like, that's right, I murdered him. Right. What did you expect me to do? It's like, what do you, like, we're missing half the story of yours, Gordon. Like, you probably should want us to understand.
Or at least Lee, and there's no way Lee knows about that knife, even though every repeat of that scene, you hear the knife hit the ground or whatever,
like,
at least.
Like ting, ta, tang, tang, ting. And it's like, now granted, she's sitting there with, like, gunshot ear ringing.
Maybe. Okay, I mean,
we are the audience. We're not going to hear that, but still.
She was close enough to that.
Still.
Yeah. And then, so...
You really think he's, like, that demented that just out of nowhere, I'm just going to shoot him as he's right behind you.
Yeah, because I hate him so much.
I was aiming for you, bitch.
Yeah, like, you got lucky I missed. But... So they kind of leave them there, what's going to happen next, kind of thing, and they move on to Bruce and
Alfred.
Alfred kind of having this like bonding moment where it's like, yeah, man, I'm really proud of you, Bruce. He's like, I wanted to kill that dude though, man. He's like, but you didn't. He's like, I didn't. He's like, and he said, that's rule 1.
Yeah, he's like, I know where the line is.
Yeah, he's like, you learn the difference between justice and vengeance. And, Alfred's kind of all like, and I guess they're going to do this where Alfred gives this dude most of his training to become Batman, like,
I know, I think he's just
straight foolish shit.
No, I know.
But no,
he's going to give him the foundation.
He's like, we're training you for a purpose. What are you going to do with it? If you're going to go further with this, you got to have rules. And that's rule number 1. I won't kill.
Yeah. And he's like, say it again.
Yeah.
And again. And again.
And I won't kill. So...
That was like his mantra before, I am the knight. It's like, I won't kill.
Intermittently through the episode, we see these Court of Owl people where it was the guy who played... he was Raiden, and he was like Dexter's dad on Dexter, or whatever. He's in the Warriors back in the day, that dude.
And that is the same guy, right?
I don't think it's his dad, though.
Well, no, it's his uncle.
Yeah,
it says Uncle Frank.
So, like, he's part of the Court of Owls, and, like, they're all, like...
And they make a thing where it's like, you know what happens if he doesn't agree.
Well, yeah, that's
and it's like, I knew they were talking about Gordon, but then it's like, what the hell are they going to talk about? Well, like, that means they're going to try to kill Gordon?
Towards the beginning of the episode, they're all like, we're going to lose the city, this power outage is really tearing up our stuff, and we don't really see them again until towards the end, where they're bringing up, they actually bring out the clone of Bruce Wayne, and they're like, it's almost time for you to do your thing, and they're like, well,
yeah, he's all like, I don't know how this is going to help anything, and they're like, this guy is still crazy naive.
Yeah,
he's got no clue.
He doesn't think they're evil, probably. He doesn't know what evil is. He doesn't know good from bad.
He's like a blank slate. Like, he's literally innocent. He's completely stupid.
And that's when they bring up, this whole part of the plan where if he says no, which is obviously Gordon.
It's got to be Gordon.
Because this dude, James Remar, I think his name is, rolls over to Gordon's, knocks on the door. He's like, hey, Uncle Frank, or I think that's what... Uncle Frank, I ain't seen you in a while. He's like, I ain't seen you neither, or whatever. And like,
even though I've been like spying on you for the last 3 years.
So that kind of leaves that there.
So you don't know what's going to happen, but you have to assume that whatever they were talking about shadily has something to do with Gordon agreeing or not agreeing to something.
Right.
And we can only assume the consequence is horrible.
Yeah, it's going to be Gordon.
Or it's going to at least cause more drama.
So... that kind of wraps all that up, but also during the episode, we had this whole Edward Nygma versus Oswald Cobblepot thing.
Yeah, it's the whole labyrinth unfolding.
Yeah, with Barbara and Tabitha and
Butch.
Butch, right.
Chuck.
Well, because I always call him Butchie, and I was going to call him Chucky right there, but his name's Butch. But
yeah, so Edward... lures Oswald to, what is it, the chemical factory or whatever, right?
King Chemical.
King Chemical, and he's all like, hey, come here. He comes there with like 2 guards, and it's just Edward, nobody else. And he's like, oh, you escaped. I knew you would. And Edward's like, oh, these are the only 2 guys you brought? Bang, bang. I didn't want to reload. And Oswald's like petrified. He don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he really has no clue what's going on here.
He knocks him out. Edward ties him to the front. Well, first he's like, you see this car right here? Yeah, shows him the car. He's like, I know you killed her.
Yeah, he basically comes out and says, you killed Isabella, man. Like, you killed her, and now I'm going to get you for killing her, but I'll make you suffer first, boy.
Yeah, and he gets him tied to the hood, and he set up this elaborate thing where, he's got a lump of chain with slack frozen over in a block of ice. And that's holding up this vat of acid that's like just about to spill, so a little bit of slack will send it over. And it's going to pour all over Oswald.
Yep.
Right? And it's funny, too, because before he lit that Bunsen burner, I was like...
this is a long plan here, dude. Like, this is a long game you're playing.
Yeah, because...
this is a thick block of ice. I was saying the same thing, like... You're waiting for that thing to melt?
And there's a barrel on fire,
nighttime?
like, kind of next to it, but I'm like, if that block of ice hasn't melted by that barrel by now, that's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Because that looks pristine. And that barrel's burning pretty hot, so I don't think it's affected. And then he, lights the Bunsen burner right under it, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
I guess I'll allow it.
You got that there.
But it's typical, like... But like you said, he had to have planned for it.
Yeah, because all of a sudden, Dopey comes walking around the corner all, like...
Oh, who are you? Oh, the mayor? What are you doing here? What kind of mess are you in? What did you do to get into this mess? And then Oswald's just like, I'm gonna die, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, like, save me or don't save me, bro. Like, don't just sit here and yell at me while I'm dying, asking me stupid-ass questions. But, that's the tool of the TV show or whatever. Add that little bit of drama. Oh, is he going to get him? Is he not going to get him? Well, guess what? He ain't dying because he's the Penguin.
Right. Oh.
So, as we progress, but he goes back to his house like, come on, y'all, we're going to go get Edward Nigma. We're going to go kill this fool.
But everybody's been gone and left him.
Yeah, like, he's done as far as, like, King of the Underworld or whatever. He's done.
Then, like, and Indiana Jones / Wonder Woman comes out of the shadows.
Tabitha and Butch looking for Nigma, supposedly.
Quote unquote looking for Nigma.
Yeah.
And they wrap up his neck in that bullwhip.
And it's, Tabitha, Barbara, and Butch.
Well, Barbara's not there yet.
Well, no, after they whip his ass out. Oh, no, that's when they take him to Barbara. They're basically like...
Kidnapping.
Yeah, you're going to tell us all about Nigma, and we're going to take you, and you're going to tell us, one way or another. Then we're going to kill you. Or maybe we'll let you live, but if you don't tell us, we're going to kill you. So anyway, they get him over to Barbara, and she basically lays out, does the typical... supervillain, I'm going to tell you my whole plan.
Yeah, we're going to kill you, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? We really want Nigma, so how about we let you live with, like, the benefits of life only? Like, you won't run anything.
Yeah.
But,
you get to still breathe and live again.
Tell us where Nigma is, and, Oswald comes with this epiphany, like, oh my god, Edward's been right this whole time. I'm such a selfish prick, and blah, 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 blah.
If I didn't love him before, I do now, and I'm not going to give him up. And that's when Nigma actually...
Yeah, Nigma just kind of strolls out, like, I've been working with them the whole time. They're not trying to look for me. I've been in the back drinking tea.
And it's like, oh, he's not going to rat you out. Like, what are you going to do now? It's like, oh, I don't know now. Like, he killed Isabel, that's for sure. But, like, he didn't, he didn't prove that he could be loveless, so... He winds up taking Oswald out to, like, the boondocks or whatever.
Yeah, basically the pier, where, like, freight ships would come in and out.
And they had this little, like, back and forth where Penguin's basically pleading for his life. And Nigma is like, he's like explaining to him why you gotta kill him. And, I mean, long story short, he shoots fucking Cobblepot right in the gut and tips him into the water.
Yeah, kind of like Gordon did all them years ago.
Yeah.
But what was it? And before he gets shot, Oswald tries to reason with Edward, like I created you. I created Edward Nygma. You know, like you were nothing before me. Like why is that always a go-to? Oh, you ain't shit without me. It's like,
well, you don't
just
kill
setting them
your
up
own
and prove them wrong.
Like I don't know, like, but yeah, like.
But yeah, that's where they end the episode.
And that's where the episode ends.
And it was in the stomach, so it's kind of like he might survive, but it also was bleeding a lot. It looks like
there's a lot of blood.
Like there was a lot of blood.
Yeah.
And
but because you get shot in the stomach don't mean you're necessarily going to live. There's a 50-50 shot.
But we all know what's going to happen.
Right, you're going to get found by some penguins.
He's going to exactly. He's going to float down to Antarctica. He's going to get found by some penguins. What was he going to float into a storm drain that ends up in like the city zoo?
I don't know, man.
And then the penguins are just going to like start
knowing him, he's going to get found by Strange.
Oh, he's going to get picked up in a fisherman's boat. And he's going to have a bunch of fish in his mouth like he's been eating them to survive and shit. And they're going to be like, look at this fucking penguin.
Yeah, like, he's going to get saved or resurrected or something.
I don't think he's going to be resurrected because I don't think he's actually going to die.
I
think he's going to be like on the verge of death. To whose benefit is it going to be to bring him back?
Fish Mooney and them.
Fish Mooney ain't bringing him back.
They are going to find him and they're going to bring him back.
No, they are not. No, they are not.
That's what's going to happen. Because it ain't going to be some Zulu penguin doctor or whatever.
I'm not saying it's going to be that either. But so you think it's going to be Fish Mooney and Hugo?
Yeah. I think if he dies, they're going to bring him back. But we'll see. I don't know what's really going to happen. I can sit here and guess. He's going to become...
Why not sit here and guess? It's an opinion.
Yeah, if I had to guess, that's how I would guess what happened. They're going to find his...
So if he doesn't die, what, Fish Mooney's going to find him and, like, nurse him back to health?
Yeah,
and then if he does die, Hugo's going to bring him back to life for no reason at all?
For science.
It's in the name of science!
He needs to perfect his procedure.
Ah, man. That's twisted. But
he's sure ain't going to stay dead.
I don't think he's going to die.
Either way.
I'm hard-pressed to believe that Fish Mooney's going to make another appearance.
Oh, we're going to see her again.
Yeah?
She just ran off.
I know she just ran off.
You think we're
going to see her that soon, though? You think the dynamic duo from the very first episode, Fish Mooney and the Umbrella Boy Penguin, are going to team back up?
They're going to team back up.
Oh, no.
We'll see.
Yeah, we shall see.
But, that's all, MOPO. Tell us what you think about this episode.
Yeah, thank you for listening. Throw a like out there, throw a comment.
Maybe a subscription or two.
Depending on how many accounts you're currently using.
But, you remember it's all MOPO.
Thank you to all of our current listeners. We appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. And, share your opinion. We want to hear your MOPO, too.